God, this is going to be hilarious. Good morning, everybody. We are live. And it's Valentine's Day. Good morning.
Oh, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Good morning, everybody. This is Billy Billy of B-Town Real Estate, and I'm with my special guest, Felicia Berg, who is our new Executive Director of Family Promise.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I just telling her I got this little eye patch on, and it's hard to see. I don't know how people do it if you just have one eye. So this is going to be interesting.
I don't think they choose it.
Yeah. Oh, and we also have our friend. He's tired. He's sleeping. This is my friend Jerry. He's here to join the conversation.
I love it.
Jerry the parrot. So he's just going to kind of sit right there. Maybe he might fall. We'll see.
There we go.
All right, cool. Well, we are here to talk about the upcoming event, the Beach Blizzard Treasure Island theme, which obviously this is why I'm donning some pirate attire. Tell us a little bit about the event.
So this is our biggest fundraiser of the year. It is tomorrow night at the Bighorn
Tomorrow
Resort.
night.
I know, it's been crazy. So I started on January 6th, and it is tomorrow. So it's been a whirlwind of a time. But it's just so amazing to see that so many supporters come together every year to support what we do at Family Promise. It's crazy. It's going to be such a fun time. Obviously, people know we're there to raise money.
Yes.
So we will ask for money, but other than that, we're going to party and celebrate like pirates. That's
Show me the money, Arg. So obviously it's Treasure Island themed, and so if you are coming, let me back up a little bit. If people are watching this and they're like, oh, I want to go, can they still attend, or are we sold out?
We are pretty much sold out.
Okay.
We do have a couple of tickets.
Oh, yes.
In a contest.
We could still do
and
this.
We have those 2 seats available, but unless you wanted to fill a full table, I can add one in, but seats are kind of sold out.
Okay, that's good. That's a good problem.
It is a good problem.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if you've seen this, but I posted a giveaway, a ticket giveaway. We've only had one guess, but if you're watching this, and we'll still run it through the day.
Okay.
Is that good? Okay.
Yep.
If you can guess the average age of an individual that is sheltered
in our program,
you can get 2 free tickets to the Beach Blizzard event. That includes dinner, fun, there's going to be games.
Yeah, and a VIP party.
And a VIP party.
First drink is on Billy.
First drink is on me, Arg.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be a great night.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
And if you've ever seen any of my presentations, that question is part of the pop quiz at the end.
Is it
you
really?
Should know the answer.
Okay.
So think back if you've ever seen me speak, and you will know the average age of a guest in our program.
Yeah, okay. I like it. So yeah, just guess. You can do as many guesses as you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I usually let people guess a lot.
Yeah.
They're usually wrong, but you can guess.
So I will give you till 5 o'clock today. So either post it here, text me, snail mail. No, don't snail mail it. We'll get here in time. Just let me know your guess. And if you're the closest one, you'll win those free tickets.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So give us a little bit of background of who you are, Felicia.
So I am a mom, some wonderful children, and been in Billings since 2000. But I myself struggled with homelessness for 17 when I was 17 till I was 28. Struggled with addiction and just, at the ripe age of 17, I thought I knew it all, and I sure didn't.
Yeah.
But ask any 17-year-old, they think they know it all.
They sure do.
And I was lucky enough and blessed enough to find Family Promise.
Yeah.
And they took me in, as screwed up as I was at that time, and they loved me into stability. Yeah. They were the first ones that really sat me down and say, I love you too much to keep letting you do these things that are hurting you and your family. I love you too much just to disregard you as another statistic, and really came alongside me and became that social circle, that family that I needed at that time, and still today, to be independent, be stable, live the life that I want to live.
Right. That's awesome. And I love that it's kind of come full circle, right? That you were in the program, and now here you are, the executive director of Family Promise.
It's so fun. It's even funner to tell the families. that are currently in the shelter, and what, they don't know me, they don't know my story, and then they hear that I was once in the shelter. And just in this last month, the questions that have came from them. How did you do that? Where are you living now? Oh, you own your own home? Like, what was that process like? And being able to share my story and encourage them that this is possible. This is your time to reset, to dream big, and let's make a plan and make your dreams come true. You get to create whatever life you want.
Right.
And when you tell them that, a lot of them are like, I don't know. I've been worrying so long on where I'm going to sleep and what I'm going to eat. And you ask somebody, what's your dreams? They're like, I don't know.
I don't have time to think about that. I'm just trying to survive.
Right? And then when you give them a moment to breathe and really think those things through, their ideas are amazing. And that's how they build that sustainable future, is because it's what they want to do. It's what their goals are.
Right.
And then to support them to that is just such a blessing.
That's awesome. So it's inspiring to see that, hey, someone made it out of this program.
Right.
It's successful. So,
yeah. Because sometimes you just feel alone and like, I'm never gonna get out of this. Nobody knows what it's like. It's blah blah blah. And it's just like, oh no,
I do.
There's
I was
others.
there.
There's others. You can make it. You're almost there. Let's go.
There's always a story that's worse than yours.
I know
that people need to remember. You think it's bad, but somebody else has it worse.
I know, and I can relate to almost everything. I don't know what it's like to be a single father. So they do got that one on me, but other than that, I can pretty much relate to most things.
So maybe for those who are watching and they're like, what is Family Promise? What would you say Family Promise is?
So our mission is to help families that are struggling with homelessness achieve and sustain independence through a community response to homelessness. So we know that when you're dealing with poverty and generational poverty and homelessness, it's such a big issue. It's not something that one person or one organization is going to solve at all. But when they say it takes a village to raise a child,
it really does.
It takes a village to overcome poverty. And working with so many people in the community, so many different backgrounds, just all with the same mission to help the family in front of them succeed. That's why it's such a successful program.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and what's cool about it, and I've talked about this before, is I sit on the board, past president, and we started a thing, I think, in my last year presidency, where we would have our social worker, Michelle, give us stories of, what the families were going through, what they were doing, successes, things like that. And it was the best part of the whole board meeting. It was to hear those, because you're like, okay, we're doing things.
Right. Like just in this last month, we had a family that paid off over $7,000 in housing debt. So like they can actually apply and landlords will look at their application. If they didn't have a place to be where we took care of their essentials and their housing for a minute, they wouldn't be able to pay a couple $1,000s a month on back debt. So that's a game changer.
Oh yeah.
An absolute game changer. We've had a big family. She has 7 kids, been waiting forever for an apartment. It takes a lot. There's a lot of 1 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms out there, but that needed more. We found she was able to locate a 5-bedroom income-based apartment that is perfect for her family. And it's like, those are the little miracles that happen every day, the little successes that will totally change these families' lives forever. And it just takes, in the scope of things, such a small period of time of just people in the community loving on them, dedicating some time to them, some energy, and then they do all the work and get out of their situation, but we just support them through it. Right.
And I think one of the words that you had used earlier was sustainability, right?
Yes.
Because I mean, you can hand somebody money or whatever, and then what's next?
Right.
So what's cool about Family Promise, what I've witnessed, is that you guys are providing tools and resources so they can continue the process of getting out of homelessness and getting back on their feet.
And a lot of people just don't know the next step to take. So that's where we come in. We can just help them, guide them through the next step. So many people struggle with something. Identification cards. So if you lose your ID, Social Security card, and birth certificate, it becomes this wraparound catch-22. And a lot of people don't understand this. So it really is. So you go to the Social Security office and you're like, I need a Social Security card to get an ID and a birth certificate. And they're like, did you need an ID and a Social Security card to get one? And then you go to the DMV to get an ID, and you can't. And it's just like all these things. And then you think of a mom, no transportation, so she's taking the bus or she's walking with a toddler. to go to all these places. You get told no a few times and you kind of give up. You kind of give up.
Yep.
What they don't know is you just need a simple printout from the hospital and then you can get a social security card and get the ball rolling.
Okay.
That's where simple, simple things like that, where our social worker, Michelle, she knows those avenues and she can direct them, and then bam, you can get a job. You can apply for housing. You can do all these things where you just thought it was the end of the road. There was no hope before.
Yeah.
And then it's like I said, a game changer for them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because I had to do that. It was something to do with, because I always kept my maiden name on my social security, but I can't remember what it was for, but I needed to change it. And like you said, it was painful. You go to one place, well, you got to go to here and do this, and then you're at that point, you're just like, whatever, I don't care anymore, right?
You kind of get, well, I guess that's over, and I'll just never have whatever again.
Yeah, yeah. And to your point, a lot of these people don't have transportation, and it's just a struggle just to even get there.
Right.
So yeah.
And then it takes full days out of your time, and it's hard.
Yeah, it is hard. It's a struggle. Life is hard. It is. Anyway, so yeah, it is. So let's see. Would have been some of the most significant challenges Family Promises encountered recently?
So we've had some challenges and some successes.
Mm-hmm.
I think, with COVID, seems like so long ago, but also seems like yesterday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We all try to forget.
We do, but it really affected our volunteer pool.
Yeah.
So, when we weren't having those people-to-people interactions during that time, a lot of our volunteers either moved or just faded away, and our program is very much volunteer-based.
Right.
It takes about 70 volunteers a week just to make our shelter program work.
Wow.
Not including the other programs that we offer.
Yeah.
So that is a huge thing that we're working on building back up. There's so many people in the community that can see there is a housing issue.
Yeah.
There is a lot of our neighbors are struggling with a place to go every day.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to do something, but they just don't know what it is to do.
Right.
And the beauty of Family Promise is no matter what you're able to do, we can fit you in. Mm-hmm. So some people, it is writing a check and sending it in and supporting financially. They're in a place that they're able to do that. And God bless them for that. Mm-hmm. Other people want to get involved, and maybe they're seniors and they can't, move as quick as they once could. But, the 2-year-olds in our program, you don't need to move for them if you're reading them a story while their parents are working on something.
Yeah.
To have that home cooked meal every night is important. And a lot of people can do that at home while they're there. Mm-hmm. There's so many ways to get involved. So our volunteer pool is something that we're really working on building back up to get our program to full capacity and all of the things that we want to offer our families. We just need the community to step in and help us with that.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that we're doing. And then just getting back to the basics with some of our programs.
Right.
People always want to go to the next new big thing. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? And we have a 90% long-term success rate.
Okay.
With the families that we work with that graduate out of our shelter program. And we don't need to reinvent the wheel. No. We don't need to start over. So we just have to get back to those basics of walking a person through each step and taking the time with them as they're going through this journey of finding themselves and finding their stability. And we do that well. And we're going to continue focusing on the quality of service, not the quantity or how big we are and how grandiose it is and all those things. We're going to focus on the family that's right at our door, right in front of us, and help them to the best of our ability.
Yeah. And so what would you say is the biggest cause of homelessness right now in our community?
Hands down, cost of living.
Yeah.
Cost of housing. It's expensive.
It is.
So we know, just doing some numbers from last year, over 60% of the families that came into our program were working full time.
Yeah.
Even in dual parents, both parents are working full time, doing, going to work 40 hours a week. And you'd think, okay, you should be able to afford rent. They cannot. They cannot. And then families that struggle with homelessness specifically, the other two biggest reasons for homelessness is lack of transportation and cost of childcare.
Oh, childcare. Yeah.
It's expensive. It is expensive. And if you don't have childcare, you can't go to work. So you think of younger parents with young kids, they're doing what they can, but $15 an hour, even $20 an hour is not enough
doing it
to support a household.
No.
So those are the three biggest reasons. people usually gravitate to the stereotypical type. They think substance abuse disorder,
right,
or, you know, mental health reasons. And those can contribute to the reason for family homelessness. But since we only deal with demographic,
yeah,
that's not the biggest reason why families are coming to our doors.
right, right. Yeah, and I think, well, I've told this story a few times, but it's easy to become homeless, honestly, and it's scary, right? Because growing up, we stayed in some shelters for a period of time, because my mom and dad were struggling, you know, to make ends meet, and it's just how quickly that can happen, right?
Yep.
You don't even see it coming. You're like, all of a sudden, you're like, oh crap, I can't afford to rent anymore,
right?
You know.
And think of how shocking it is to a child too that doesn't understand finances.
Right.
You're just like, there's my room, I'm at home, and then the next day, like everything's packed up, and you're in a car, and where are we going? What's happening?
Exactly.
And that fear and just uneasiness of it all, it's horrifying for children.
Yeah.
But yet they're so resilient, and,
and
they'll make it through it. But that's why, you know, it's just good that programs like us exist.
Yeah.
And shelters were there for you when you were a child, because that's who really we do this for, right? Like, I want the parents to succeed. I want them to have a better life. But really, it's those kids. Just this week, I saw on the news, I think Wednesday night, a couple states over, a mom had to sleep in a car with her kids. The 9-year-old passed away from hypothermia.
Oh.
And, you know, everybody around them that was in that neighborhood, as the news reporters were talking to them, they're like, she could have came and asked. She could have came and talked to us. We would have let them in. But how many times do we see this happening in Billings? We're like, oh, poor people, as they're walking or sleeping outside of other agencies, you know, and we just kind of brush it off.
Right.
Until something horrific happens.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we could have done something.
Yeah.
Well, now's the chance. Family Promises here. We're getting people out from sleeping in their cars. That little girl did not deserve to die. And it happens every year too. People get frozen to the ground. It's frigid at night here.
Yeah, 20 below we've been dealing with lately.
And so it's, you know, I don't want to wait till something horrific like that happens in our town, when, you know, all those people in that town are regretting their, you know, we could have done something. Yeah. Now's the time to do something, so that we don't have that happen in Billings.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's scary, it's sad, but, you know, we have resources here to help that. And what's cool about Family Promise is that you guys also work hand in hand with other organizations.
Correct.
You want to tell us a little bit about that collaboration?
So, yeah, again, we cannot do it just ourselves. There are so many amazing organizations here in Billings. Lots of them start with family too. So Family Service, Family Tree, you know, there's the Crisis Center and the YWCA and Great Sober Living Homes, Riverstone Health. There's just so many organizations, and we love working with them because we don't want to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
We can't do everything.
Yeah.
Those programs do what they do, and they do a great job at it. So let's work together, because we're all serving the same demographic, the same clients. And we see the best results for our neighbors when we do work together. Yeah. So it's beautiful to see the organizations really coming together and focusing on the need and focusing on what needs to be done and where those gaps are, and then kind of divvying up the work, and we all take what we need to do and work on that and help our community become a better place.
Yeah, because each of the organizations have their specialty too, right?
Correct.
Like you said, when you come together and kind of put those together, you're kind of a powerhouse as far as helping people out.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, this is a good one. Could you highlight one or two programs that have been particularly effective in supporting families in needs? Like any certain like actual program that you can pinpoint, you know, this program has helped this or whatnot.
Within us or in the community. So we have several programs, and they were created because we were looking to fill those gaps. So one of my favorites is the Community Diaper Bank.
Yeah.
It is, you know, just holds a very special place in my heart to give babies diapers. And
diapers are expensive.
They're so expensive.
Ooh.
Did you know the government classified diapers in tobacco, guns, and firearms or whatever?
What?
They're classified in the same classification. Why the government will never do diaper assistance? We don't know why.
Why?
I think somebody was just like, diapers was left over at the end of the list, and like, where do we just stick it there? I don't know.
What?
So very weird.
That is
weird. Little trivia tidbit, but Last year we gave out about 100,000 diapers.
Dang, that's a lot.
To people that need them in the community. And that program is so much more than diapers. If you don't have diapers to send to daycare, a kid can go to daycare.
Right.
You miss a couple of shifts, your hours get cut, then you lose your job, you can't pay rent, and then you're calling us to come into our shelter. Right. We don't want that.
No.
It's also one of our best outreach programs, because when families are dealing with homelessness or poverty issues, they're super scared to come out and say, Billy, I don't know where my kids are going tonight. I don't know what we're eating. They don't know if you're going to call CPS, if their kids are going to be taken away. Are you going to judge them as bad parents? Right. All of these questions come into place. So we get to, through the diaper bank, just meet the families, love on them, give them diapers, whatever else we get donated to us can go right out to them. So if we have formula, here's some formula. Wipes are a big ticket item that we do not get very often. But when we can hand them out, they're super appreciated, for that. And then kind of gain their trust, build that relationship so that when they do have issues, they feel safe coming to us and talking to us about it. If they come more than 2 times in a month, they get to meet with our social worker, and she gets to dive into, what is the issue? Is it an income issue? Are you working, but there's just simply not enough money? Is it you need a job? Is it daycare is just wiping you out? What is the issue, and how can we help you get to the point where you can provide that on your own? So I love that program. We also have the stabilization program. So that was started last year with a grant from Family Promise National. Okay. And that used to be like aftercare, but now it kind of covers everything from start to finish. So if we come in contact with a family who's about to be evicted and a payment would be able to stop that, we could help them there. They can work our whole program without being in the shelter and get access to all the resources that we offer without being a member in our shelter program. That's nice. So last year we were able to help about 47 families through that program stay housed or get into housing. Last month, our social worker was able to help 24 families in 1 month. So this year it's going to be bigger, but there's still, the interview process. We're going with, for every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. So the families that come in and they're willing to do an action, put in the work, there are payouts for that. Yeah. There is, that's how you reach goals. That's how you build confidence. And we won't do it for them. We're not going to do the whole process for them, but we will support them through it. So I'm super excited to see where that program goes in the future and how we can help families stay out of our shelter and stay in their own apartments, because we know it is significantly cheaper to keep a family housed than for them to be evicted, go through homelessness, and get back into a place. Right. So we're going to focus on that as well.
That's awesome. So for those that are watching, can they drop diapers off to you guys to help or wipes, like you said, wipes?
Yes. Okay. So we always accept diaper donations of any type. And then they can bring them to our day center. We're at 10 South 26th Street, right downtown by the skate park. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And then also things that you use on a daily basis, we're always looking for. So I ask people just to be mindful for one day. What do you use every day? So you get up in the morning, you go potty, use toilet paper, brush your teeth, take a shower. What items are you using? Because those are our most frequently used items in our day center. And soap, dishes. You just think of, what do you need to survive on a daily basis?
Even feminine products for women. Right?
Yeah,
that's probably not really thought of.
And we get, there's a, until diapers and feminine hygiene products aren't on parents' wish lists for Christmas gifts, I'm like, no, we'll give you that anyway. What do you want that'll make you feel special?
Right.
I just need pads. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I know. When you guys do the tree right at the mall, our office last year, we were picking off stuff, and one of the gals, she's like, oh my God, this lady just wants a vacuum cleaner for Christmas, you know what I mean? Or a pair of socks, and it just is very eye-opening, things that you take for granted.
I know it, right? Yeah. When you're complaining, vacuuming your floor, think of the ones that don't have access to that.
Yes. So it's very eye-opening. Anything else on the programs?
No.
You mentioned? Okay. Let's see. I think we've already talked about. Let's touch on this a little bit more. So how can members of the community get more involved? So you mentioned volunteerism. So how they just contact you and say, "Hey, I want to volunteer."
Yeah. So that would be a starting point. That is a good starting point. Yeah. So when I work with volunteers and bring them on, there's a conversation that happens before. And I like to show the day center, you get a feel of where our house is and kind of all the different programs and all the different ways to get involved.
Yeah.
And then I also want to learn about the volunteer. What are your passions? What do you like to do? What really gets your gears going?
Yeah.
And then we figure out a way how to take that and do it to something that we need.
Right.
So, oftentimes people are like, I don't know, I kind of do photography on the side, or I like to write, or I like to do these things. And we need those people. We need people to come take pictures of our families and write stories as guest leave so we can keep those on file. People just hang with the kids, make meals. There's so many ways. So we kind of tailor that to the individual and get them involved. There's also some through United Way, the You Can Volunteer website. So if you go on there, you can look through so many different volunteer opportunities. Find us and see what's going on in the future. So we need volunteers to help do diaper bank and hand out the diaper bank on Tuesday. And then whenever we have something going on, like this event that was up there, people could volunteer on there. So that's an easy way to stay involved. And through our Facebook page, Family Promise YB on Facebook.
And Instagram.
I forget about that one. That's a great way to stay really up to date on the most current needs for our organization.
Yeah, because you guys typically do like a wish list every now and again of things that you need.
Yes. This last month we had 4 of our families move into their own apartments. So coming up soon, we'll see lots of calls for we're going to have to restock our beds and all of that stuff. When a family moves from our shelter or transitional housing into their own apartment, we never want somebody to go from sleeping on a floor into our shelter back to sleeping on a floor.
Yeah.
And we also don't want them to spend their whole savings on stuff. You think about just ketchup, mustard, salt, pepper, all the basics for a kitchen. Right now can be, $100, $150.
Oh, easily.
And then if you throw in furniture and those type of things, it can wipe out their savings. And they work really hard to get that savings.
Right.
So those furniture donations, you'll see those start coming out soon too.
Yeah, bedding, things like that.
Yeah, all the things.
Yeah. Okay. And then monetary donations too.
Monetary donations.
They just go on the website. They can hit donate.
They can go on the website and hit donate. We still take paper checks. You can mail them in to us. However you really want to do. If you want to bring me down actual cash, I'll take actual cash as well. But our organization takes no government funding. We are supported through 3 ways: through grants from family trusts and organizations, through events like Beach Blizzard this weekend, and then a third of our budget comes from individual donations in the community.
Okay.
So people who support the work that we do, believe in our mission, and say, hey, I'm going to give you $100, I'm going to give you $20. That all adds up. Yeah. And it adds up quickly.
Oh yeah.
And 96 cents of every dollar donated goes right back to the clients that we worked with. The other 6 cents I do have to pay,
administrative stuff.
Yeah, well, my staff likes to get paychecks.
Oh, really?
They do, and I support the fact. I don't know who came up with. We
gotta keep them around.
I don't know who came up with the idea that if you work for a nonprofit,
you don't get
also
paid.
Be in poverty.
Yeah,
so
right.
they're like, I want this money just to go to the clients you serve. I'm like, but there has to be people here to serve them.
Right.
And they deserve a livable wage as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know when that happened, but I'd like to squash that myth. I think that teachers and people in nonprofits should get paid double.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and it's so meaningful to our community and our world.
That's awesome. I love that. Okay, so looking ahead, what are some of the goals you have for Family Promise over the next few years? You're just kind of getting your feet wet. I mean, you've been at Family Promise before, and then you came back.
I was gone for almost 2 years, and now I'm back.
Yeah.
Our goals. So we are heading into doing a new strategic plan.
Yeah.
And really looking at all the aspects and what our community needs are. And my goal, like I was talking about before, is to serve the families that are right in front of us. To love on our community, My goal is to just be this wildfire that runs through Billings and Yellowstone County and Montana that reminds people it is so important that we love our neighbors.
Yeah.
And we love those that are hard to love. People are like,
and that's the hard part.
Like, I love Billy. But Billy is very easy to love. So it's
tell my daughter that, will you? No.
It's those ones that teenagers.
And we're talking about teenagers here.
That we've got to love them and love those that are hard to love. And when we do that, that's when real change happens.
Yes.
So if that's what I'm commanded to do is love my neighbor, and our goal is to be that beacon in our community.
It's so true.
When people come to our organization or work with us, they feel safe. They know they're loved.
Mm-hmm.
They know they're important.
Yeah.
And they feel like there's hope for a better day.
Yeah.
So that is really my goal. What that looks like in the future is it's so exciting to see these plans come out and how we can better do that.
Yeah. But
still staying with our mission and our quality of service and doing what we've always done, keeping that 90% success rate, and seeing how we can grow that naturally and sustainably to help more families.
That's awesome. I love it. Let's see. We talked about that already. Oh, and maybe you kind of already answered this, and maybe it was part of your journey, but like what initially inspired you to join Family Promise? Was it because you were part of the program and you wanted to give back, or?
So it was. Yeah. So when I was in the shelter, maybe there a month or so, I went to Lisa, the old executive director.
Lisa, shout out.
And I was like, I want to do what you do. I want to apply. And I literally started turning in my, she's like, well, give me a resume. And I didn't have a resume. I was like, don't you have an application?
Yeah. Is there an application I could fill out?
She's like, no. So I made a resume and I turned it in several times. Yeah. And I just knew my heart was being called to help those that were in a situation like I was at that time.
Yeah.
To get out of it. I didn't know how. I didn't know what I was capable of doing. I didn't really have the confidence or knowledge that I do now, but I just knew I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So finally, she hired me as an afternoon part-time bus driver, and we were moving from the old day center at Bethlehem over by Washington Elementary to our building downtown. And thankfully, I did that, and the job just kind of grew where I was helping with just office stuff to helping with marketing. And then I started learning grant writing and development, doing presentations. Mm-hmm. And that's where Lisa really saw, like, that was my gift.
Yeah.
She said, I could spread my passion of helping others and get other people excited.
Because you're a great speaker, right? Because you are so passionate.
Yeah, I am. Right? Yeah. I am so passionate about it. So I was able to grow into that and really hone my skills and learn all the other aspects of it.
Right.
And learn how to better talk to other people and how to raise funds and be a better leader. That was able to give me all the skills I needed for this exact moment. Like it was all working for a time just as this.
That's so cool. I love that so much. Congratulations.
Thank you
for working so hard.
She was on the hiring committee, so
I was. And that was so cool to be able to like be part of that as well. Yeah, I love that. And what's cool about Family Promise is so family oriented. So as you were talking, I remembered the reason why I got involved was my daughter, my oldest daughter, Frankie, was actually on the board.
She was before you.
Yeah, she was on the board before me. And you guys had like a junior, kind of component.
We still do.
Yeah. And I thought that was so cool. And she would always talk about Beach Blizzard.
Yep.
And I'm like, what is this? And then what really opened my eyes is you guys had at the time done a Cardboard City. Do you remember that?
Yeah, Cardboard Box City.
Yeah, where they, I think it was one of the field, Rocky Mountain, maybe.
It was in the field at Rocky Mountain College. That was the first time I spoke was at one of those.
Really?
I was petrified.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And worked a lot with the youth for that program.
Yeah.
So the youth groups,
yeah.
They would build a Cardboard Box City and they would spend the night outside. It'd be September, September-ish where it was a little colder, but we didn't make them freeze.
Right.
So they could get the idea and just kind of see what it was like to sleep outside.
Yeah.
When it wasn't, summertime camping weather.
Right.
And then raise funds to help with that. And that was a fun event back then. A lot of work, but a fun event.
Yeah. And that was what I was like, I was intrigued. I'm like, this is cool. Like, what a good idea. And So, and then I had sat on the mayor's committee for homelessness with Lisa. And that's how I initially met Lisa. And anyway, so I learned more about Family Promise, and I think at that time I joined the board. Yeah. Now you can't get rid of me. I think I'm termed out, but you're not getting rid of me.
No, if you're still immediate past president, you're still there.
So yeah, no, just because even if I'm off the board, I'm still going to be involved in some capacity, just because I do enjoy it. But also, my husband was one of your volunteer drivers for some time. We're every Saturday.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think he did that for like 6 months or so. But yeah, he really enjoyed that too. Like hearing the stories, people on the bus would talk to him.
Yes.
On their situation.
The tired faces as they come out on Saturday morning.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, it's just like a little family affair. I love it. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. Do you have any memorable stories about volunteers or community members who have made a significant impact through their involvement?
Oh, so many. So when we went through COVID and we had to not stay at the congregations and kind of do everything very individual with the families that we were working with, because even though everything shut down, there were still homeless families we were working with. We didn't stop working.
No.
But what we really identified through that time is that there is something magical that happens when the families interact with our volunteers. I can't say exactly what it is. I just think that's the power of community that happens. And there's so many stories. One of my personal favorites was staying, there's many, but we were staying at a congregation called Mayflower over on, I think it's on Polly, it's on the West End. And the sweetest little old lady, we were talking and I was hoping I was almost ready for transitional. I didn't know I had a few more months of work to do, and she was just like, it's so great to meet you, but I hope I never see you again. And it kind of was like,
yeah, what do you mean?
Then, she explained herself. She's like, I just hope that you get on your feet and, you're not in this program and you're so successful. And it was so weird coming from a place where for so long of my life, everything that somebody gave you, there were strings attached. You didn't know what they were right at the moment. Right. And really waiting for that bottom to fall out. And then just realizing at that moment, like she's not going to ask me for anything later. She hopes that I don't come back through another rotation through there. Like there's nothing for her to gain by being here. Yeah. Except that she wants me to do well. Right. And then when I started thinking that way, it was just, I didn't have the motivation or the love for myself to want to do it for me. Yeah. But I didn't want to let this little old lady down. Right. Oh. I was like, she believes in me. Yeah. And I don't want her to make her sad. And then I've slowly gotten to know so many, and now many of them are like lifelong friends. Oh. We talk, so much and just live life. They're my people. Cool. So there's just so many conversations that happened while I was in the shelter, and relationships that were built, and the memories that my children made. Yeah. While they were there, any family that's been through Family Promise knows now when you drive around, your kid will point out every church they've stayed in. Aww. This has been over 10 years ago and still points them out. I remember when I stayed there, they remember certain events. One that Eli talks about a lot is there was, I think it was St. Pius congregation. Somebody brought in an ice cream social type thing. So you got to pick the vanilla, chocolate, or strawberry, and then they had every topping possible. And the kids thought that was the best thing ever. Yeah. And they've asked for it several times. And I'm like, I'm not putting that on for just us. Yeah. That was a big thing. But they remember those things. They remember the Sunday morning breakfasts and the spaghetti nights. And we were there during the Super Bowl when I was in the program. And King of Glory had a Super Bowl youth group thing, and we all had chili. And so those memories just stay with the families. I couldn't express at the time that I was thankful, or I knew even what was happening. Right. But looking back and really being able to think over those times, and now I get to cherish those memories. Yeah. When I was in the program, I was just like, this is hard. And I'm just going to be crappy, but I'll do it. Yeah. But looking back, those were some of the most important and special nights in those congregations that I've had in my whole life.
That's awesome. I love that. And so do you ever see the like volunteers that you worked with back when you were in the program now, and they're like, I'm so proud of you.
Oh,
like,
so often.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the best parts of working here is they have seen the whole from beginning to end transformation. You know, they really are my family.
Yeah.
And seeing them root for me, seeing them cry with me, seeing like all those things are just such a blessing. And I couldn't have asked for a better group of people to come alongside me and so many other families that they've worked with. But I hope I'm their favorite.
I hope I'm their favorite. Love that.
They tell me I'm their favorite, but I don't know if they say that to everybody.
Yeah, are you saying that to everyone?
I think they
That's awesome. What message would you like to share if someone is considering, like, hey, I'm thinking about it, like volunteering or donating? Like, what's a message you want to send out?
I challenge you to try it once.
Okay.
And if you're a little nervous, do it scared.
See, I like that.
Like that's it. Like I think once you try it, and people have an idea of what homelessness is and what the families we work with are, and what a shelter would look like, and then when they come down and experience it, they're like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So I mean, what's one night out of your life to try it? What's one meal that you cook to try it?
Yeah.
I say try it.
Yeah.
And then if you don't like it, if it's not your thing, you tried it, and I can direct you to other organizations that maybe are your thing, because I think everybody should be giving back of their time to our community. But you know, it's not a one-stop fits all for that. We can hook you up with something to do. So my biggest encouragement is try it.
Yeah.
Be a little curious, come in with a curious mind, and then go from there.
That's awesome. I love that. Yes. So let me see if there's some people that commented on some stuff.
Huh?
Hold on, let me look here. I can't see.
You do that.
Let's see. Oh, there's a lot of people on. Hey, everybody on Instagram. Okay. So while you're doing that, I want to show you. So this is kind of one of the pieces that you can bid on in the silent auction, and it was donated by my friend Riley Woolery. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of glare, but it's it's actually his first like oil painting.
Oh no!
And he custom framed it and everything. So that's just an example. And we've had a lot of donors
another example I want to share.
Donate.
So we do fun games. So you don't have to be a millionaire to participate in what we do. If you are a millionaire, you can still come.
Yeah, you can still come.
We do heads or tails, like so many galas that, you're buying for $20.
Heads or tails is easy.
3 for $50. But Montague's Jeweler donated this beautiful, I don't think you've seen it yet.
Ooh, that's
gorgeous.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Oh, a little bit. So it's all these beautiful gems and diamonds and rose gold, which is my favorite.
Same, I love rose gold.
Oh my gosh, but it is worth right under $2,000, and you can win it for $20.
Shut up.
If you can pick,
I'm in.
If you can pick head or tails, right, all the way through. Also, today's Valentine's. So if you're coming and you're a man and you kind of screwed up today, there's also other jewelry you can bid on and win, or you can try to win this and totally make up for
the last minute
whatever crap you did today.
And you're helping a good cause at the same time.
And you're helping a good cause at the same time.
It's a win-win situation. So the event is tomorrow at the Bighorn Resort.
Doors open at 5.
Okay.
Dinner's going to be served right around 6, so don't be late for dinner. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so yummy too. And then the main event will be over right around 9, followed by the VIP party sponsored by Billy Parrott.
Billy and Bantam, baby! So, I'm so excited.
I am too. It's going to be the whole event's fun, but the VIP party is where it really gets fun.
You can just like let your hair down and dance.
That's where my shoes come off, because by that time they hurt. The first, 50?
50, first
yes,
50 people.
And the VIP party get these little swag bags.
Yeah.
They are full of pirate
liquor.
Pirate the Kraken spiced rum.
We've got
pirate booty.
Yes,
so many things. This will be super fun. For the first 50 guests over there.
Yes.
So don't leave the main event early.
No.
It's literally the next door over, and you can just walk over and get this.
And I have a DJ, Dan Nickerson, shout out. Black Tie Productions will be playing some fun dance music.
The bar will be in there.
First drinks on me.
Yep, free drink tickets.
Do we have like a special drink?
We do. So we have Pirate Punch. Which is some of my favorite ingredients. So it's like the pineapple and cranberry juice and all the juices.
Okay.
And rum.
Okay, I was gonna say, is it Everclear? No.
And rum. You have to do pirate type rum.
Yes.
And then we also have our non-alcoholic version of that.
Mocktail.
That has all that stuff.
Which I'll be drinking it.
So both of those will be available that evening, and they should be delicious. Lots of fun.
We'll have a photo prop wall.
We'll have a photo booth there.
Jack Sparrow, tell us.
Jack Sparrow is coming. So at the event, when you get there and check in, you will be given the option to do the treasure hunt. If you choose to do the treasure hunt and you finish it, you can turn it into Jack Sparrow and get a raffle ticket for a sweet prize at the end of the evening. So keep your eye out for all of the treasures throughout the event, and then we'll give out those prizes as well. We'll be doing some specialty games. So for our guests coming, be prepared for anything. Just saying, because you might not think you're going to be on stage, and you just may end up there.
You might end up on stage.
Yeah. So it'll be a great night, a great event out at the Bighorn Resort.
We're going to be dressed as pirates.
We are going to be dressed as pirates. And a lot of people have been asking about what to wear.
Yes.
So the cool thing about Beach Blizzard is it is a full spectrum. You can wear your pirate costume. You can wear beach attire. So a lot of the guys like to come in khaki shorts and Hawaiian shirts and whatever. They just want to be comfortable. Or some people like to get fancy, and especially on Valentine's weekend, you can wear cocktail attire. No matter what you wear, I guarantee that you will feel like you're fitting in. Yeah. It's such a wide variety and fun crowd, and honestly, nobody cares what you're wearing. I suggest comfortable shoes, above all.
Yeah, might as well be comfortable. I'm going to wear comfortable shoes.
I am too.
And I'm a pirate.
And I double checked them this morning. I'm like, are these okay? Yeah.
And I'm so excited, and thank you again for having me be the MC at this event. We've got some fun things planned for you.
We do.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fantastic. And thank you for all your hard work on this event and doing all the things and letting me come on and talk. And we appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Well, anything else that you want to mention before we end today? Any other events coming up that people should mark their calendars for?
Keep an eye out in April. We will be doing a volunteer appreciation and volunteer recruit. So if you're interested, want to learn more, dates for that will be posted in March. And then golf this summer.
Yeah. So they always do a golf tournament, which is a great way as well to.
If you're a golfer.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if you're not a golfer, I'm not a golfer.
I'm not a golfer either. So if you're not a golfer, you can hang with us in the hit lounge the whole time. Golfing's frustrating, but people love it. I don't have the hand-eye coordination there.
I don't have the patience.
It's a long way. 18 holes is a long
way. Yeah. So you'll see Wanda out there in the golf cart driving around. So, and you guys are always looking for volunteers for that as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
If you like the golf community, but you don't like the golf.
Or planning it, you can join our committee and do things like Billy.
Yeah, because you don't have to be on the board to volunteer for committees.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
So I think that's another thing people might not know is if you want to be involved, you can just join committees, even if you're not on the board.
Yep.
Yeah.
With whatever you like to do. That's why those conversations are so important, because they're like, oh, I like to be crafty and make stuff. I'm like, sweet, you're on the decoration committee for Beach Blizzard. Yeah. Make 50 centerpieces, those type of things. And
if you like to plan events, Beach Blizzard would be the perfect committee to be part of.
Yeah.
It's the biggest event you guys do every year. Yeah.
We're going to raise $140,000 tomorrow.
We could do this
with your guys'
help. Please help us.
Thanks.
Yes. Awesome. We'll follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Family Promise YV, because there's other Family Promises in the country.
Yes.
So make sure you're following Family Promise YV. hit Felicia up if you do want to volunteer or donate. Go to the website and you can click. Now, on the website right now, do you have a live auction going on? Is that correct? Some sort of auction? Okay.
No, it's all going to be in person.
It's all in person. Okay.
We've done virtual, hybrids, those type of things before. It's easier just to do it in person. Perfect. So if you are in the room with your number, raise it high.
Awesome. Awesome. Bring your money, honey.
Credit card. Whatever.
Well, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Hopefully we'll see you at the Beach Blizzard. And again, please guess the average age of a sheltered individual with family promise. The closest one will get those 2 free tickets for Beach Blizzard.
Yeah.
Till 5 o'clock. Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks, Felicia.
Thanks
for everything you do. See you guys. Have a good weekend. Bye, Instagram. I don't know why I feel the need to like sing all the time. It's my musical theater.
I was going to say, it's your
yeah.